Well, I'm here again with the engine, and you can see I've taken the sump off, and it's looking very much like something from a H.G. Wells novel. Let's have a closer look at it. In fact, first of all, before we get onto the exciting bit, this is what I've taken off. It's all in a tub. I know where it is, all ready for cleaning up. Oil filter housing, very important detail of these is the pressure plate. You see that in a spring? That is very important. Spring and then pressure plate to apply pressure to the filter. It's not unknown for those to be missing, and as a result the oil filter is useless. It won't be filtering any oil. So you need that bottom pressure plate, and the spring underneath it has to be assembled correctly. A lot of folk now do the spin-on canister conversions, but I don't know why they do that, because that's actually a very good and pleasant design, actually. Easy to work on. Yeah, no issues at all. And there's the element that came out of it, an AC30, so I know that's quality, and it's actually very clean. Very clean indeed, which is a good positive sign. As I've said, there was a lot of service history with this car. It was serviced religiously, and that is a very clean filter. Yeah, I could wash that out in petrol and put it back in again. Recycle. Joking. So the back plates come off again. That's the front. Here's the back again. I've loosely replaced the bolts. Some are longer. They are to retain the gearbox as they go through the gearbox into the engine block, and there's some shorter ones on the inside, so don't get them mixed up. Just keep them where they are. Sump bolts and washers, etc., they're in a tub on their own, so I know where they are and what they are. I'll put a piece of cardboard in there written on as with sump bolts, sump fastenings, so I don't forget. Top tip: when you are undoing the sump bolts, just do them all one turn at a time until they're loose. Don't remove one at once, because you can distort the sump, you can distort the metal, the flange, so they need nice even pressure, both undoing and tightening up as well. When I do tighten these up, I like to do, you know, the outers at the back first of all. They're the most awkward, and then just gradually tighten them all down. And the sump only ever needs to be just nipped up. Again, don't want it too tight. Speaking of which, the sump, well, it is very much looking like a sump. Yuck, 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 horrible. That is not good. Clogged. What the hell is this? Oh dear. That is oh, that's engine disease. Good lord. Well, it's not oil, I know that. Engine disease is what that is. Disgusting. Yeah, so I'm glad I've taken the step to strip this engine, because imagine if it was free already, you know. Imagine if it was free and I was turning it over with that. Not good. The oil strainer for the oil pump pickup, oh, it's full of sludge again, but it'll clean up nicely. I did think, well, is the crankshaft, the visible parts of it here, the throws, is that corroded? But it's not. It's actually probably just from where the jet wash, you know, a bit of water got into the sump. But that'll clean up really well. Of course, the engine, it was sealed by the sump, you know, pretty well. As soon as you open up an engine, it's exposed to air and moisture in the air. So you can't really open one up and then leave it. You've got to make haste. You know, you can't just hang around, otherwise things will corrode. But under the bearing caps, when I remove them eventually, and you will note the use of locking tabs on each one, and the mains. We've got 3 mains. When I do remove these bearing caps, I'm expecting the journals to be in nothing other than pristine condition. Time will tell. You see here the front of the crankshaft with this woodruff key. Now that's for the timing gear, timing wheels. That's very good, nice bright metal. So yeah, no cause for concern there. Inside, camshaft, a sort of similar story, although that may need a bit of fettling. I'll see when that's removed. Distributor drive gear there, you can just about see it. Yeah, distributor drive gear comes out through there. Again, that's where I plugged it with the rag. Filters off, really, you know, I'll be putting a clean lint-free rag or something over this for a plastic bag. Stop it, any debris from falling in. Main oil pipe to the filter. Don't touch that, you know, unless you're actually replacing it through some defect or other. Don't ever remove these, because they're very fragile. They can, you know, through the action of untightening and tightening, they can fracture. So leave that well alone. And the actual filter head, the oil pressure relief valve, I don't know, I might take that out, you know, just to clean it up. But that'll be one of the last jobs, I think, after I've stripped the rest of the block, crankshaft out, camshaft out, etc. So it's all ripe for cleaning. And that is all there is to it. That's why I love working on these old British engines. Well, most of them anyway. They're just really pleasant to work on. You only need a couple of spanners. You know, they're all either 7/16 half or 9/16 AF. And then, you know, a couple of sockets for the larger fastenings. 5/8 there, I think it is, on the mains. And some people criticise these British cars, especially, you know, of the late 60s and 70s. They say, oh, they're outdated, the engines are boring. But they do the job, and they do the job very well. What they were designed for: ordinary transport, reliable, economical, everyday transport, and they do that job very well. There was no need for, you know, fancy engines, twin overhead camshafts, that sort of thing, twin carburetors. It was just not within the remit of the engine designers for an ordinary family car or economy car. So I don't buy that. It's not a valid criticism, and I know which one I'd rather be working on as well. So yeah, I can now see, I know you're struggling to see this with the lighting conditions, but I am as well, and with it being black inside there and all. But so far, so good. Hope you can join me for the next one. Thank you for watching.